Good day po, Ma'am Rizel. Thank you so much for meeting with us today. I'm Christine po and this is my partner po.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Annabelle po. And this interview po is part of our midterm milestone activity where we get to learn about how the school health unit helps support students in terms po with mental and emotional well-being.
Before we begin po, ma'am, we'd like to ask po permission po para i-record po yung interview natin. For documentation purposes po siya. So, we can accurately include po yung insights nyo po with our academic paper po.
Okay lang.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Ayan, ma'am. Before we formally start po, no, let's lighten up the mood po. Magkamustahan po muna tayo. We'd like to ask po, how are you doing po these past few weeks po?
Actually, I'm good naman this past few weeks. Actually, this week is medyo hectic then for us dahil for the following weeks, we are bombarded with activities. We have an upcoming mental health program this coming next week as well. Tapos sa next week then meron din kaming mental health program as well yung CEM, meron na din kaming CEM. So yung CEM for first years. So marami kaming preparation right now dito sa office. So pero overall it's good naman.
And ma'am, we're glad po to hear na you're doing fine po. Kahit po kami kasi medyo bombarded din po kami with activities po talaga and medyo ngarag din po kami kasi midterms exam na po namin next week. Kaya ayun. Pero nonetheless po, we're doing good naman po. Ayan ma'am, to formally start po, can you please give us a brief introduction po about yourself?
I'm Roselmi Pula, or you can call me Miss Reese. So I'm one of the guidance associate here in NTC Guidance Center, and I am assigned for the School of Criminal Justice, which is yung mga criminology student natin. So dito sa guidance, we have meron kaming ilan ba? 8 GAs or guidance associate, and we also have 1 psychometrician. And sa apat na yun, sa walo na yun pala na GA, meron kami 4 for college, and we have also 4 for element or basic education. Also, I am a registered psychometrician, if you may ask. So, if kailangan nyo magpa-validate, pwede dito, pwede sa amin. Pero make sure lang na hindi ka masyadong busy. So,
ayan. To begin with po, our first question po would be, how does your unit support students' mental and emotional well-being po?
Okay. So, since our unit is belong to the Student Affairs and Services. Basically, we are under that Student Affairs Services. So, basically, the NTC Guidance Center provides holistic support for students, mental and emotional well-being through a range of preventive and developmental and responsive services. So we do individual counseling, gumagawa and nagpa-facilitate din kami ng mental health programs, which is yung na-mention ko sa inyo earlier. And with different topics yun ha. Tapos yung mga topics na yun ay galing din siya sa inyo. Kumbaga, nagpapasagot kami ng student needs assessment. Then doon kami kumukuha ng topic kung ano yung mga kung ano yung mga programs na i-offer namin sa inyo. As well, yung mga appraisal tools namin, if nakaka-receive kayo ng mga appraisal tools. Yung tatlo, yung SPDF, SDQ, WWS, doon din kami kumukuha ng mga datas about you guys. Siyempre, di ba, 4 lang kaming guidance associate, pero di pa lahat, ang dami ninyo, basically, hindi namin kayo ma-reach out isa-isa. So doon, isa yun sa mga ginagawa ng guidance center to support yung inyong mental and emotional well-being. Also, we collaborate with different departments and student organization as well in creating a safe and supportive school environment. So, yun yung ginagawa namin as guidance here in NTC.
Yan. Para next question po, ma'am. In your experience po, ma'am, ano po yung mga common stressors or mental health concern na usually hinaharap ng mga student in school po?
Okay. So, actually madami yung mga stressors nila. Pero siguro yung common na lang, since you mentioned common, based on my experience, yung common na mga stressors ng students natin ay related sa academics. Like, doon siya nag-start sa academics. Like, yung overwhelmed kayo or sila, yung mga nakakausap ko, sa workloads, then hindi na nila ma-manage yung time nila. Yun, nagkakaroon siya ng chain of reaction na sobrang daming workloads, tapos hindi na ma-manage ng time, tapos yung pressure pa na to perform well, di ba? Tapos especially yung merong mga times na yung recent lang na event, which is yung sa grading system, which is mas nakaka-affect siya sobra sa mga students right now. If you will ask right now, yun yung isa sa mga common stressors. Pero usually, aside from that, meron din naman related sa personal concerns like yung self-esteem issues, family problems, and relationship struggles. So, hindi lang naman ACADS yung naming mga concern, natatanggap namin concern or nare-receive namin, kundi rin sa mga personal life, yung mga personal issues in life.
Ma'am, given that stressors po, common problems po ng student natin, ano po yung mga programs or counseling services po na available para sa mga students natin na kailangan ng emotional support po?
So, I have mentioned earlier sa inyo yung mental health program. So, one yung mental health program, which is, ang tawag talaga sa kanya is psycho-education wellness program. So, yun yung isang service na ino-offer namin. So, aside, syempre, counseling is given dahil counseling is the heart of our office of the guidance center, no? So, aside from individual counseling, we do also have routine or kumustahan session, routine interviews or kumustahan session. Yung, kung na-receive ninyo na nag-invite sa inyo para magkumustahan. No, katulad yung ginawa natin kanina, na bago tayo mag-start yun, kumustahan, gagano'n din kami. Also, if needed, yung parent counselor conference, hindi lang sa college as well, hindi lang sa elementary as well sa college, nagkakaroon din kami ng parent counselor conference if kailangan. So, yun yung mga services, or meron din kami mga testing, pero yung appraisal na sinesend namin, yung 3 appraisal tools, tapos CEM sa amin din. So, yun yung mga services.
Additional lang po, yung mga students po ba, voluntarily po silang pumupunta or usually po nare-refer po sila ng course or classmates nila?
Actually, both siya. Sometimes self-referral kung tawagin namin dito sa office, or yung mga walk-ins, parang ganyan. Sometimes yung magpapa-appointment din sila, and sometimes nakaka-receive din kami ng referral from other departments as well faculty members.
Okay po. Thank you, ma'am.
Yan. For our next question naman po, how do you maintain the confidentiality and trust with the students na ina-assist nyo po?
So, yung confidentiality is very, very critical and really important for us. Siyempre, di ba, yung mga sinashare nila sa session is, yun yung mga personal problems na hindi nila ma-share sa ibang tao. So, we value them. So, we make sure na yung students natin dito sa NTC ay napapa-feel namin sa kanilang studio nila, respected kung ano man yung mga isi-share nila. Kasi syempre, something personal yun, di ba? So, in some cases, before pumasok yung mga students sa isang counseling room, dinidiscuss namin sa kanila yung informed consent, which also, kinukuha namin yung firma nila para, syempre, parang binding na agreement na alam nila na ito yung pwede nilang gawin, ito yung mangyayari sa mga sessions natin. So, di ba yun, may informed consent kami doon, naka-indicate doon yung, naka-indicate doon yung rights ng isang student client na pwede silang mag-withdraw, pwede silang magpalit ng counselor if gusto nila, or minsan, di ba yung sinabi ko sa inyo, may mga nag-walk-in. Usually yun yung sobrang distress na talaga, yung biglang ano na siya, makikita niyo talaga na paiyak na, or minsan may umiiyak, in some instances may umiiyak. So kapag ganun yung case, yung confidentiality clause namin, sa session na mismo, hindi na namin sila, parang after na ng session namin sila binibigyan ng informed consent. Pero, before kami mag-start ng session, nagkakaroon kami ng confidentiality clause, as well yung limits ng confidentiality clause na whatever they will share will stay between us two, the client and the counselor, except if there's any risk or harm to themselves, harm to others, abuse, any type of abuse, or if the release of information is required by them. So, yun yung ginagawa namin to maintain confidentiality and trust with the student.
What signs po yung usually na hinahanap niyo po to identify students po that may need psychological help?
Okay. So, actually, madami siya eh. Madami yung mga, hindi man siya signs, pero pwede natin siyang tawagin. So, yung mga, we usually have five indicators to identify students who may need psychological help. First is related with academic performance. So, ito na yung mga nakakamiss ng deadline, minsan late yung submission nila, kahit alam naman nila na may deadline na yung project or yung kung ano yung requirement na kailangan. Minsan, nagde-decline na yung quality of work ng student, di ba? Usually, makikita niyo naman kapag kayo mismo sa mga classmates ninyo, kilala niyo siya na maganda talaga siya gumawa, hindi pwede na yung sa kanya. So, pag yun biglang parang nag-decline yung quality of work niya, pwede siyang indicator. Pwedeng isang indicator yun na may something na nangyayari or kailangan niya ng psychological help. Then, yung lack of interest in class participation. Pero yung mga nabanggit po yun, is yung sudden siya, kailangan sudden siya. So, next is yung classroom behavior. Ito yung mga habitual tardiness, absences, lack of focus or motivation. Minsan yung, disruptive na siya sa class or na parang nagkakasya ng distraction sa class. Parang ganon. And again, lahat ng sasabihin ko, yung 5 indicators na to is, sudden and drastic yung makikita nating change. So, third is yung physical appearance. So, yung mga noticeable na sa physical is mga sa weight, bigla ang change sa weight, bigla ang pagpayat, bigla ang pagtaba, or sa clothing, na sa una, may makikita ko, kahit mainit, sobrang init, makadakit. Minsan, na makikita niyo uniform niya is hindi na plancha, hindi na steam. Usually yung ganon. Tapos, sa hygiene din, yung amoy nila, hindi na nila naaalagaan yung sarili nila. Or if merong injuries. Or, syempre, yung smell ng cigarettes and alcohol. Syempre, kapag ganon, minsan, parang there's something wrong na kasi gumagamit na siya ng mga illegal substances. Diba? So, yun yung sa physical appearance. So, fourth is yung interpersonal behavior. Ito, ulit siya, sudden and drastic yung change niya. So, if they become unduly aggressive, minsan abrasive, or on the other hand, withdrawn and isolated. So, diba, minsan makikita natin yung kaibigan nyo, kaklase nyo, siya, sobrang extrovert niya, tapos sudden, bigla siyang naging parang nag-isolate siya, iiwas siya sa inyo, ayan. So, meron din changes in mood, important din yun na ma-notice natin. Tapos, yung increased irritability, mabilis siya mairita, extreme sadness, fearfulness, or agitation. So, take note, itong fourth na to, itong interpersonal behavior na to, is, meron siyang time frame na 2 weeks. So, kung napapansin na siya or consistent na siya sa 2 weeks na yun, meron na talaga siyang, kailangan niya na talagang ng immediate help, kailangan na siyang ma-refer sa guidance, or kung kanino man na mental health advocate, or yung mga, yung katulad namin dito sa guidance office. Okay? So, last and most importantly ay yung mga immediate risk. Ito na yung mga students na nagpapakita ng suicidal ideations, suicidal threats, yung magiging parang homicidal ideation, parang gusto na nilang manakit ng iba, or yung involved din yung feelings of hopelessness, extreme naman na siya, yung extreme hopelessness na siya. And, or ano na yun, parang, kasi si extreme hopelessness is one of the indicators of, ano siya parang sa symptoms, when we base sa symptoms, sa DSM-5, na symptoms of depression, isa na siya doon. So, kapag 2 weeks na yun na persistent, ayun, immediate help na yung kailangan natin. So, syempre, involved na rin dito yung self-criticisms, feelings of worthlessness, illegal substance abuse, or sexual-related concerns. So, ayun yung mga signs na, or yung mga indicators na nakaka-help sa amin to identify kung sino yung mga may need ng psychological help. Though medyo marami siya, diba? Sabi ko kasi, medyo marami siya. Pero yun talaga usually yung mga kailangan nating makita, and yung mga kailangan namin mapansin agad na kailangan na talaga nila ng help. Yan.
Ayan. Thank you, ma'am, for elaborating po yung 5. And for our next question po.
Yan. Ano naman po kaya, ma'am, yung mga contribute ng teachers at classmates natin para ma-maintain po yung mental wellness po sa school?
Okay. So, di ba nabanggit ko sa inyo kanina na may referral service, may mga nagre-refer. Yun. So, yun yung isa sa, tawag dito, parang isa sa help ng mga professors and teachers namin. Siyempre, si teachers and si classmate, malaki yung part niya, malaki yung nagiging part niya in maintaining mental wellness dito sa school or sa isang school. Si teachers or si professors, sila yung daily na nakakasama ng mga students, yung mga students. So, sila yung nakakapansin kapag merong changes sa behavior o sa performance nyo. So, yung mga yun, kapag may napansin na sila, ayun, pwede na, minsan nagre-refer sila, minsan pumapasok sila dito sa office, minsan nagsasagot sila ng referral form namin. When it comes to the classmates naman, big help din ang mga classmates, especially yung mga friends na classmates or mga blockmates. Sila kasi yung iba, usually yung mga kabataan na yun, yung mga students, parang ang hirap sa kanilang mag-share ng problema sa ibang tao na hindi nila kilala. Diba? So, yung mga classmates, nakaka-help sila para dun sa mga hindi pa ready mag-share sa mga professionals na dun sila nag-open up. Dun sila nag-open up na ganito, may ganito akong problema, and etc. and so on and so forth. Tapos, syempre, classmates pa rin naman natin yung mga student organizations. Diba? So, sila din, nakaka-help din sila sa pag-refer as well. If you may ask dito sa atin, di ba meron tayong kakampi, yun, sila yung mga trained students na nag-help dito sa guidance, or sila yung nag-extend ng mission ng guidance to listen, to encourage, and remind that it's okay to reach out for help sa mga students. So, yeah.
Thank you po, ma'am. For our last question po, ano po kaya yung message that you would like to share with our students about caring for their mental health po?
Okay. So, right now, especially, we are very, very aware of what is happening sa mundo, diba? Through the help of internet. So, one message is to take care of your mental health the same way you take care of your physical health. So, it's okay to rest. It's okay to feel kung ano yung emotion na nafe-feel mo. And it's okay to ask for help, especially when things gets heavy na. Kasi syempre, ang hirap nun na ikaw lang yung mag-isang kumakaharap doon sa problema mo, diba? So, I always say this sa talks, kapag nakakapag-talk ako dito sa seminars dito sa NPC na asking for help is not a sign of weakness. But it's our strength. It's a strength. So, yung reaching out, yung pag-reach out mo, yung pag-ask mo ng help, help sa ibang tao, that means you are brave enough to face what you're going through and you want to get better na eh. Diba? So, yun, yung isa. Tapos, siguro isa pang message, another kang message, pero isa pang message is, please always be a little kinder to each and everyone. Kasi hindi natin alam kung ano yung pinagdadaanan ng isa't isa. Diba? So, treat everyone with a little kindness. Yun lang.
Yan, that concludes our interview, ma'am. So, thank you so much for taking time to share your experience and insight with us po.
We've learned a lot po from your answers po, and especially about po dun sa how important it is to take care of ourselves and both physical and mental wellness po. So, again, thank you so much po, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Also,
Appreciate